Hey there, crazy kids. I am the Good Old Gamer, and we're back to playing more Minecraft. Official release on Good Old Risa. Yay! Now, I know in the last recording session I said we were going to go back into the Nether um, to do some more tearing down of the fortress and whatnot. But I think I'm going to wait on that. Because instead I have this I have this interest in finding out just what sorts of treasures the NPC village blacksmith shop has. I'm really curious about this because ever since it was included in the latest update, I've seen it listed on the version history of the wiki, but I haven't actually seen what the treasures are. I haven't seen anybody make videos on what these treasures are, and obviously I haven't found any, because if I would have, there would have definitely been a video for me on it. And I was able to find a few NPC villages along the way from this portal over to the original homestead, but none of them had a blacksmith shop to see what kind of treasures were in there. And I'm just kind of curious if they're similar treasure chests to what's in the dungeons and abandoned mines and stuff like that, or if they include things like tools and stuff, because it's a blacksmith shop. So I'm hoping maybe we could find another NPC village generated in this 1.1 territory, and hopefully find a blacksmith shop in it with some treasure, some loot, and just kind of get an idea of what it is, because I really haven't found any information on that in one way or the other. Now that said, I'm probably not going to venture too far from home here, so if we don't find an NPC village here fairly soon, we're just gonna head back home, and this will be a relatively short recording session. But yeah, lately I've just been really wondering what kind of loot those blacksmiths have. I'm hoping maybe it's tools or pieces of armor or something, which would make sense, but unfortunately my more practical, realistic suggestion would be that these chests are just going to be the same type of things that dungeons and abandoned mines and strongholds and all that would have, and that the treasure inside is going to be too particularly new or interesting, and that's probably why nobody's made any specific videos on it that I've noticed. At least from the people that I watch. I mean, everybody's made videos on the upcoming updates as far as like jungles and the wolf breeding and stuff like that, but nobody's really made a whole lot of videos concerning the updates to 1.1. Which is kind of sad, in a way, because some of the updates are really good. In fact, most of the updates in 1.1 are really good. I actually probably am wandering a bit too far from home, but hopefully I can find my way back without too much trouble. So anyways, what do you guys think? Have any of you found a blacksmith shop in a 1.1 NPC village that would have treasure in it? Is the treasure anything worth being curious about, or is it the same old treasure that you find anywhere in the game that has treasure? I mean, even if it would have tools or armor or something, and I don't expect it to be spectacular stuff. I don't expect it to be diamond tools and armor, but kind of figure it'd be iron tools, if nothing else. Seems like something a blacksmith would be working on, you know? And for that matter, even stone tools. Who can put down a free stone tool? I mean, really, if you didn't have to go mine the materials and craft it yourself, who can really argue with that? I am kind of bummed that the sort of like library areas in NPC villages don't have enchanting tables in them, because you would think that they would. Oh, here's a dungeon. Nice. Well, it's not an NPC village, but it's a buried dungeon. Haha. My lucky day. I wonder what type of dungeon this is. Skeleton dungeon? I think that's a skeleton. Awesome sauce. I might have me a skeleton dungeon, and it's a surface dungeon too. Check this out. How could you? I couldn't get more luckier than that. Oh, Mind Fiend, I bet you're envious now, aren't you? Aren't you? Well, now I can put a skeleton spawner mob trap on my list of things to do. Hopefully I can find this again. I'm pretty sure I can. I'm pretty sure I know how to get here from the portal. Where are the chests in this place? I'm going to block that off for now. Don't tell me this doesn't have any chests. The whole point of getting into a dungeon is for the chests. Although I guess, all things considered, a skeleton dungeon is a worthwhile loot in itself. There's the chest right there. And there goes a shovel. Well, a bonus out of clearing out this dungeon is I'm getting quite a bit of a sand pile out of it. Whoa! Die, Skelly, die. Okay, what's in the chest? Bread, gunpowder, iron, wheat. Nothing too spectacular, but it's pretty decent stuff. Now let's see if I can get on out of here. Right. Good deal. So let me just put up a pillar here. I'll put it out of netherrack so I notice it. Nice! Skeleton spawner for the win. Oh, that's sweet. I'm gonna have me infinite arrows whenever I make a trap. Which probably won't be for a while, considering I'm really in no big hurry for an infinite supply of arrows, or really have any kind of interest or motivation to make traps. That's not really my big thing. I'll eventually get to it, but whatever. I'm not in a big hurry for that. Anyways, let's go check around here. The only thing I really expect to find now is baddies, because It's nighttime. But I really would love to see an NPC village now that we especially have a skeleton spawner. I couldn't believe how lucky I was. It's so great to have a surface dungeon like that, especially a skeleton one too. That's just a bigger boon. Wow, that's a group of Endermen. You don't usually see that many in one spot. Another reason that I'm just kind of wandering around sort of aimlessly without too much concern is that I have a compass, so if nothing else I can find my way back home to one of the homes. Although it'll admittedly take quite a bit longer to get to the original homestead if that's where we end up pointed. There's things after me. I'm not a fan of things after me. Get away from me, things. Well, even if I don't find another NPC village with a blacksmith in it, this has definitely been a worthwhile recording session already. Skeleton spawner is a very awesome find, especially for me since I never seem to really find them, or when I do, it's on a world that I'm not going to be able to make use of them for various reasons. Not that not that I'm particularly planning on making use of this one. It's just really nice to have in case I want to. I think our home portal is over that way. Cozy cottage. I hope so, if my intuition about the land is right, but wouldn't surprise me if I was wrong about that either. Okay, game, you can turn day anytime now. I kind of wish I'd have brought a bed with me. It's really not that I don't mind the enemies being around, because I don't particularly care one way or the other. I can dodge and avoid and fight them if I have to. But it's just that nighttime is so dark, and it doesn't make for good videos. And also, it's not very good for traveling around exploring like this either. It's not particularly pleasing. It's kind of weird to think about the days back in Alpha when you didn't have a bed option. Yep, here's one of our pillars. Goodbye, creeper. All you're gonna do is blow up because of lag, so screw you. Get away from me! Seriously, get away from me! Sleepy, sleepy time. Well, we found a skeleton spawner. Hooray! We didn't find an NPC village, but actually I'm not too terribly surprised about that either. So instead of going that way, let's go this way, since when we marked these pillars and headed back to the other home, it also ended up being a fairly good route to find NPC villages. You should be dead. Seriously. Because I believe we found 2 or 3 on the way. So perhaps if we head in this general direction, we'll find a few more. I'm not going to follow the route specifically, the markers that I made, because I don't need to be going back to those NPC villages. They're already generated and they didn't have blacksmiths, but I just want to travel in this kind of general direction. We do need to be getting out of the forest area though, because I've noticed that NPC villages don't show up in forest areas. They prefer flatlands, either deserts or like plains and stuff. Hey, an apple. That was random. Huh. Oh, I'm so pleased to have found that skeleton spawner. It makes my day, it really does. Just to have it, I mean, it's not, like I said, it's not the fact that I'm particularly interested in making a trap or anything, or making use of it. It's just knowing that it's there and that I can have it if I want it. It's just so nice to know. And it was incredibly easy to conquer, too. I mean, it was in broad daylight and it was half buried. That's even better. You know, I'm not sure going in this direction was really worth it because there's trees as far as the eye can see. It's very, very unlikely that we'll find a village around here. We may find wolves though. I have a couple bones. For whatever that might matter. Another reason that I'm out randomly exploring like this is mostly from a video maker's perspective. If I don't want to spend too much time in a single place doing the same single thing, like exploring the Nether, for example. I've spent a couple recording sessions, if not more, exploring the Nether and the Nether fortresses and stuff like that. So it's good to provide some variety for you guys, my viewers, to see me do different things and go randomly exploring. And is that a village? I'm thinking that's a village over there. Oh, please let there be a blacksmith. Of course, from a distance, I've been known to mistake villages for other things, so